What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Sip Off, where we have drinks and we talk all things basketball. I'm your host, Megan Price, and we got a jam-packed show for you tonight. But first, let me go ahead and get my co-host in here. We got John Phillips.
What up, Doe?
What's up?
How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm gonna have to take this virtual background off. It's lagging bad, really bad. It's lagging real bad. Okay.
It's all good. It's all love.
Yeah. Okay. So, how's your week been?
Oh God.
Yeah, same.
It's been a terrible week. Terrible week.
Mine's not terrible, but not fabulous. Hectic, and definitely have to work a ton. So
Yeah.
lots going on.
We're gonna get through it.
Definitely. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bring our guests in. We got Will Vogel. What's up, Will?
I'm in the same boat as you guys. It's been a rough week. I told Megan the whole ordeal, but at least tomorrow's Friday, so thank God.
Gotta get down on
You're
Friday.
Friday. You're Friday, not mine. All right, and we also have Joseph Jenkins in here with us. What's up, Joseph?
What's going on?
He also did that Family Matters joint again.
He did. That's all of a sudden.
Family Matter.
Yeah, it's how you came
You remember the intro?
Oh,
it's a rare condition this day and age.
oh no.
And all of a sudden they'd be like, "Oh, hey,
Hi.
how are you? How's your week?"
Well, I hate to go on the same bandwagon as y'all, but everybody said it's been a different type of week.
It has.
It's cool. It's good. I actually know everything about it. I enjoyed this day off. I wish it would just last a little longer.
Okay.
How are y'all doing?
We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it.
For sure. What's everybody drinking?
Oh, variety.
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 The staple, Willard Light.
Juice?
Willard Light. Lemonade Loco. Told y'all it was a Loco show.
Loco Joe.
I'm about to do a shot.
I'm the sober one. Water.
I need a ride, Joseph. I need a ride.
I'm gonna get it. I got you.
I'm so glad Kennedy be driving now. Be like, hey, can you take me somewhere? Because I should not be driving.
Rogers. Discount double check.
Rogers.
Okay. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Oh, I'm chasing it with the Loco. That's going to be fun.
Will,
that's gonna be great. Great. That's gonna be excellent.
If you ever have one too many, I hope I'm there. That's all I said.
Oh, you would love
well,
it.
honey, if you're not there, don't worry, because I got to count with Uber. I don't be driving. Or I'm around Kennedy or somebody gonna take me home.
I don't want to get no
all right,
because I don't had some situations when I was drunk on the Uber.
Really?
Yes, so let's just the next one.
Okay. Next one. Okay. All right, so let's talk about what's going on right now in the WNBA. We will get to the whole Brittany Griner stuff later on, but we have two games happening right now. We have Dallas versus Vegas, and then we have the Mercury versus Connecticut. Mercury is down 53-56 with 3 minutes left in the third.
Hey.
Right. It's a ball game. It's a ball game. It's close. And they're keeping up, and they don't no GOAT on the flow. It's 62-53. My bad. It just updated.
Uh-oh.
No.
Okay.
Aren't y'all still like secure in that seventh playoff spot?
If they win tonight,
I know. I'm pretty sure. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure that they're making the playoffs regardless.
Yeah.
The problem is, as we know, the format this year is 1 versus the 8 seed, 2 versus the 7 seed. So you really don't want to be in that 7 or 8 seed because you either got to play Chicago or Vegas. Nope. Speaking of Vegas, Dallas is playing Vegas right now.
Let's go, Dallas.
We are up 39-26, which is nothing. For Vegas, that is not much of a lead. Vegas
Don't
can
say
always
that.
come
I
back.
want my team to get that first seed somehow.
Well, we'll see. Connecticut at the number 3 right now, aren't they?
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. Oh wait, no. What seed are we?
Yeah.
Y'all are the 4th, and then Washington is 5th. So Dallas is up 37-26 with about 4 minutes left in the second. Currently, the top scorer for the Aces is Point Guy. She got 12 points. Oof. And then for the Wings, no Arike once again, and no Satu either, but Satu hasn't played in weeks. So this is the second game that we've gone without Arike. And the top scorer currently is between Lish and Marina Mabry. They both have 8 points apiece. So we will keep you guys updated on those games. Let's talk standings right now and that playoff race as well. So hold on one second, guys. Are we still thinking that Wings? Let's see if the Wings fall to the number 7 seed or the number 8 seed. Could they get a first round? Make it out the first round?
Nah.
Even with Chicago?
Nah.
We beat Chicago.
It's tough. It's tough.
Listen, playoffs.
Without Arike.
I get the
Candace
Wings.
Parker played. No, Candace Parker played. You know.
I get the Wings one. I give the Wings one game.
Okay.
I give them a sweep.
It's awesome. Thanks. Yeah. Right back at you.
All brooms all the time.
That's messed up.
I kind of think
it could happen though. I'm not saying it couldn't happen.
Listen, y'all showing out right now. Y'all doing something that ain't been done. Look, you went and beat the Sky the other night. Now you up on the Aces. I mean, y'all doing your thing. However, playoff basketball is a different beast.
It is.
And
it is.
I think like the Wings, the Sparks, the Mercury, the Lynx, all of them are in the same tier, and they play good occasionally.
No, the Lynx are worse.
Well, I mean, I'm saying like I feel like they all are around each other, like of talent and winning and just presence in the league right now. Like I feel like that 6 through 11 spot is all similar. Like the Liberty is in that mix too. Like, okay, I just feel like all of them are like basically the same, not the same necessarily the same tier of talent, but they're the same. Like,
is it like you could see every one of those teams having every record that was kind of posted?
Yeah, all of those teams.
Well, they're all very similar records. Yeah, I mean,
like the
that
Lynx
could happen.
Be the worst team of the 5, but also be the best team of the 5.
Yeah, of the 5. Like the Lynx, the Lynx could definitely be the worst of the 5 or the best of the 5. Like they've beaten the Mercury twice at least already. Like, and then the Mercury and the Sparks have battled. Like, they're all beat on each other. I'll throw the Dream in there too. The Dream is in that tier too.
Right. I mean, because they took a little bit of a fall in the last few games. Well, I mean, quite a bit of a fall actually, because they went from like 6 to 12.
To his point, it's like they all are talented, but they don't have the consistency of showing that talent on a night and night basis.
Yeah. Like,
so you saying Dallas going home in the first round? That's what you
first round. They're going.
Yeah,
y'all going home first round. That's what you saying.
Yeah, Mercury definitely going home first round.
Okay, but what if we play Connecticut? What if Dallas gets the 6th seed and we play Connecticut in the
y'all
first
still
round?
Going home?
Oh, that's so brutal. We got a chance. No, we got a chance. Fuck. Damn. I don't know. I'm dreaming.
I understand where you're coming from in the sense of the teams are good where they can possibly, if other teams not playing at their best, take a game or two or a game or whatever, or make it competitive in all the games. But the consistency of the better teams of the top 5, they all have shown to have go down but come back up and stay up. Whereas on the 5 teams that he's talking about, they haven't really found a groove of where they're going to be really good or really bad. Because when they're really bad, they'll come out and scoop a win. But when they really are looking good, they'll start losing a streak of games that you was like, okay, well, what do we think of this team?
Yep. Okay. So, how many games does Seattle have left, and how many games does Washington have left? Because they have the exact same record right now. Seattle's in the 4 seed, and Washington is in the 5 seed.
I have to look real quick. Sorry.
I have to
No, you're fine. We're kind of laid back tonight.
I think
We've got 4 games. We've got the Aces, the Sky, the Lynx, and the Aces. So
Oh, that's
it's-
rough. That's a rough finish.
yeah,
Aces,
those-
Aces.
yeah,
No, but
so
And the Sky?
I would love, yeah. So it goes Aces, Sky, Lynx, Aces. I wouldn't mind going 2-2, but it's gonna be hard because you're going against the Aces twice, and then you're
And
going
how
against
much,
the Sky.
how much do
and then
you
the
care about? How much does Seattle actually really care about? We the twos. Huh? How much does Seattle really care about maintaining the 5 seed because they already have home court advantage? So, do you play Sue right now? Do you play Stewie right now or Jewel? Like, do you sit these major players because it really don't matter? You got home court advantage. You're gonna be playing the Mystics no matter what. Is basically what it's looking like.
What?
But
You know what?
this game of
Go
both
ahead.
teams.
You said the Connecticut Sun is what?
Because I think with still 4 games left, either the Storm could actually catch them and take the 3rd seed.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so Connecticut is 21-10, Seattle is 20-12, and Washington is 20-12.
That's a tough question. That's a really tough question.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I would love to see us go, of course, 4-0, but what I would realistically want us to go is 2-2.
So what does Washington have left?
My computer is really slow. I've been trying to look.
Hold on, no,
I can do
find
that.
it.
Oh, you got it.
Or
I
you
know
can look it up, Will. I don't care. You can look it up.
We have the Sparks and the Aces coming up.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Sparks and the Aces. How is everybody finishing with the Aces? That shit sucks.
So
We already
everybody,
played them. We already played them.
Oh, y'all had them in the first part of
But-
the year.
No, but so like it's interesting to it's funny that because I referenced to something Jahan said earlier about the teams and how where they are, like how they're ranked and stuff. Like I think if you wanted to prepare for the grind of a playoff and try to make a final push, the schedule Seattle has sets it up perfectly for them because they have top tier
go
teams
ahead.
have to face off to get prepared for us if we come in. And now go ahead, Will, with the schedule because I don't know.
Yeah, all I have to say is the Mystics have a really good end of the schedule. Except for Friday, they play the Sky, the Sparks, the Fever, and the Fever. So I can see them going 3-1.
Sparks, Fever. That's a nice little
3-1.
ending
That's
right there.
That's 3-1 in my heart. Like, no offense.
Okay, so
don't
I feel
see
like
them
y'all
beating
could catch Seattle, but I don't know if y'all can catch Connecticut. Connecticut playing, what's the score right now?
I'm not even watching that game.
71-55 is
If the Mercury could help.
71-55.
Hey,
Mercury ain't helping nothing.
Mercury, help out. What's up?
Rare.
They down 18. They down 18 with 6 minutes.
Lord. Just that fast. It was 56.
Can I say
53.
something real quick? Anything.
Go ahead.
Oh, no.
8 down 18.
Well, I
Anything
guess-
possible.
I guess we can go ahead and address it right now since we talked about the Mercury. Free BG, man.
Yes.
Okay, so she was
Please.
sentenced to 9 years today, right? And like as most of y'all that watch the show or if you keep up with the W, you know, like this is what had to happen in order for negotiations to start. Like negotiations couldn't even really start until she had been sentenced. So she had to plead guilty, she had to be sentenced, and now negotiations can start, right? So, you know, hopefully a prisoner exchange can happen. I don't expect it to happen. You know, I'll say 30 to 60 days is really optimistic. I really feel like it's probably going to be a 4 to 5 month thing. Like,
No, I agree 100%.
yeah, maybe before the end of the
especially
year.
Especially dealing with a country like Russia, how strict they are, and
Right.
you
And
have
so,
to.
you know,
you
there have
have
been
to-
other cases. There have been other cases that were strict, where there were people that were from out of the country and they got really harsh sentences. And so Brittany's not the only one that, you know, broke the law in Russia, supposedly, allegedly. And they got a really harsh sentence because they're not a citizen there. Now, if they were a citizen there, it's pretty normal if you get caught with a vape pen that you do 15 days and you're out. But it's different because she's not a citizen there. So, hopefully, all I can say is, man, bring her home. I've heard different things. I've heard that it was actually THC in the vape pen. I've heard that it's CBD.
I've heard a lot of different stuff too.
Yeah, I've heard different things, and I don't think, like, just honestly, I don't really know. I'm not personally going to believe anything that comes out of Russia, what they have to say. Like, I'm going to believe what she has to say when she comes home. She can't say what she needs to say while she's over there. Like, she has to say what she needs to say in order to come home. So, like I said, free her. She's a mother. She's a wife. Like, free her. Bring her home. Like, this is ridiculous.
And the sad thing is, when she gets home, I'm going to call her right now. She's going to miss 1 year. The following year of WNBA action.
Oh, you think
she'll
so?
Be ready.
I think this
or
is
at
the
least
missed year.
half this season.
You think this is the missed year?
This is the missed year. She's gonna be back for next season.
I don't know, dude.
So. I hope so. I really hope so
too. But it shakes people up. You don't know what she's feeling. She could be like,
But okay. So, and I've said this before, right? And I put some thought into it last night, actually. I've said that she's in a place that hates her. They hate gay people. They hate African American people. They hate women in Russia, right? But then, and they hate Americans. But then, if you think about it, like go look at ESPNW, go look at any of the WNBA posts. They hate her here in America. They hate her too. You know what I mean? They say she disrespected the flag. She didn't never once disrespect the flag. What she did was say that she didn't think the national anthem shouldn't be played at the beginning of the game, and that was with one of her teammates, Breonna Turner, I think, said the exact same thing. And so they kind of misconstrued her quote and just made it fit their narrative. Like, she never did that. She just said that it really didn't have any place at a game. Whether you agree with it or not, that was her opinion. She absolutely did not disparage America. If that was the case, why did she play for Team USA? Why is she a gold medal? Because she's absolutely happy to be an American. So no, man, just free her, bring her home. It's sad. Hopefully this brings the process to fruition now.
It's interesting, unfortunately, to see how this whole thing played out because rewind the clock a couple years ago when LiAngelo got in trouble in China.
Right.
None of this entire process came about. And almost like, truth be told, we may not agree with the things that he said as president and everything, but threatening China ultimately is what actually prompted them to give up Angelo in terms of where we are. And it's just, I would wish.
It's so different. And so many people are, I don't know, I guess just kind of quick to make those comparisons, but it's different because one, they invaded a country and they wanted to keep us out of it, and so in order to keep us out of it, they threatened nuclear action upon us even before, like Brittany Griner was detained at that time and 2 weeks before they invaded Ukraine. But, it was kind of before most of us knew that she was detained over there. And before it even really became an issue. So, they knew what they were doing. That's why they handed her a harsh sentence, because they knew it was more likely to make us wheel and deal and do what they wanted us to do. And there's more to it. That they want we want Paul Whelan. They want the arms dealer, and then they also want somebody else that's imprisoned in Germany right now, and they want us to go in and kind of do a three-way trade with the whole thing. So it's complicated. It has a lot to do with more than just Brittany and her own personal situation.
The political move, hands down.
Absolutely it is. And so it was something that whether it was CBD or whether it was THC, like Russia says it was hash oil. Why are we so quick to believe what Russia has to say just because you don't like Brittany Griner? I think that sucks. I think that really sucks, because if it were to come to something else, if it were Sue Bird, would you believe it?
No.
Question. You know what I mean? Like, if it were Sue Bird, would y'all really be so quick to believe what Russia had to say? No, you wouldn't.
No, Sue Bird's an angel.
She's not an angel, but I'm just saying, like, there's different factors that go into it. And Brittany has a little bit of a reputation that goes with her. And so people are quick to judge the situation when they really don't know. None of us know. I don't know if she's guilty. You don't know if she's guilty. We just know she did what she had to do in order to speed up the process of being involved in a prisoner exchange. So hopefully they're able to bring her home. All right, so let's go ahead and move over to the MVP race in the WNBA. I feel like it's between four people. Four people.
Yeah, four. Yeah, four.
Okay, so you got A'ja Wilson, Vegas. You got Kelsey Plum, teammates, Vegas, Aces. You got Breanna Stewart, your team, Will. And then you got Skylar Diggins-Smith, who's had an amazing year despite what the Mercury is going through. And so while
would you say Candace Parker would be the fifth if there was five?
Probably, because I feel like every time she touches the court, she's a double-double.
I feel like Sabrina's the fifth.
I think Sabrina's
I like Sabrina's been killing too, but the problem with the number 4 and that number 5 option is winning matters. And unfortunately, Skylar's team is not winning. New York is not winning as much as they should be. And so when it comes to those two, like, winning matters. And so, Stewie's in there, even though they're at the 4 seed. And then you got A'ja and Kelsey, who are at the number 2 seed. So thoughts? Who's your MVP?
Start with me?
Yeah, start with you.
Kelsey Plum. Las Vegas Aces.
I actually,
okay.
You know what's crazy is I've had to interchange my head. Sure, I'm a diehard Stewie fan, always will be. UConn girl. I love A'ja Wilson. She went to South Carolina. She's a beast. All of the players are amazing. But I agree. This is Kelsey Plum's year. Not only did she win All-Star Game MVP, she's going to win this MVP.
That's right, best friend.
That's right, bestie.
I think the last 4 games could decide the MVP race, and if Stewie shows up and they beat the Aces twice, I think it's hers to win because individually she would have had to have outstanding performances to top.
Right.
You just put up a monster stat line last night, though.
Stewie put up 30 plus.
Right.
A bunch of steals, blocks.
You had mentioned that winning matters. So if you're facing 2 of the top 5 MVP candidates on their team, and your team by headstrong by who comes out on top in both of those games, I think that'll seal the deal for them and her to win the MVP, because that's who I think individually, with even the Aces have a very loaded, super strong team that is a little bit better than the Storm. But I think if individually, I think Breanna Stewart is the best player.
And don't get me wrong, I would love Stewie to win it. I just think Kelsey Plum's it's her year.
Okay, so I'm gonna read off the stat leaders so far.
What about you, Megan?
Hold on, and then I'll get there. I know what I'm doing. Hold on. Okay, so points leaders. Number 1, you got Breanna. She's averaging 21.5. Then you got Kelsey, who at number 2, who's averaging 20.2. Then you got Arike, who's averaging 19.9. Then you got Sky, who's averaging 19.8. And then you got A'ja, who's averaging 19.4. Then in assists, you got Natasha Cloud from Washington, and she's averaging 7.3 assists a game. That's fucking ridiculous. Then you got Vandersloot, no surprise, 6.6. You got Sabrina at number 3 with 6.4. Excuse me. Alyssa Thomas with Connecticut, she has 6.2 at number 4, and then you got Point God, who's averaging 6 point assists per game, and then at the 3-pointers, you got Kelsey Plum at number 1, who's averaging 3.1 per game. At number 2, you got DT in season number 19, averaging. Then you got Arike, who's averaging 2.8. Then at number 4, you got Sophie Cunningham, 2.4. And then you have Sabrina, who's also averaging 2.4. Then on the defensive leaders, on rebounds, you have Syl, who's averaging 9.7 rebounds per game in her last season. Yeah. At number 2, you got A'ja Wilson, who has 9.5. Then at number 3, you got CP3, who has 8.7. At number 4, you got the reigning defending MVP, Jonquel, 8.5. And then at number 5, you have Melissa Smith, who's averaging 8.2. On blocks, number 1, you got A'ja Wilson. She's averaging 2 blocks per game. At number 2, you got Ezzy from Seattle, who's averaging 1.9. At number 3, and the woman not even playing in the league no more, Liz Cambage, 1.6. At number 4, you got Brianna Turner at 1.6. And then at number 5, you got Queen Ekbo, and she's averaging 1.2. And then on steals, you got Brittany Sykes at number 1 for the Seattle Spark or for the LA Sparks. Then at number 2, you got Brianna Stewart, 1.7. Number 2, Alyssa Thomas, 1.7. Number 3, you got Chelsea Gray, 1.7. Number 4, you got Petty for the Mercury at 1.7. So Sykes is ahead of everybody by 0.2, and everybody else has the same record of 1.7 when it comes to steals. And so my decision is actually different than y'all's. And while I do think that my feelings are not going to be hurt if Kelsey Plum gets it. I feel like it would be great. She was 6th Woman of the Year last year. She has definitely taken a step up. And so to see her get the MVP because she has had an MVP season, I would not waver. I would be so happy for her. But A'ja Wilson has had 2 Players of the Month. She is also leading in 2 different categories. A'ja is my MVP.
Good call. Fully understand.
Okay, so
big shout out to Alyssa Thomas being, I think, the only forward.
Yes.
This, like, it's a big deal for her, you know. Terps Nation.
Okay, so what about Defensive Player of the Year? As we know, Sylvia is reigning defending.
That's your girl. You just mentioned her.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Will, you got it.
I actually got A'ja Wilson winning that award.
It's a possibility, but what if she wins MVP? Can she win both?
No, honestly, I don't think so. It'd be crazy cool if she could. That'd be like phenomenal. Like one of the coolest things I've ever seen. But because of her blocks and her rebounds, I think she gets it.
Okay.
Jahan for Justin.
A'ja as well, because I think for the simple fact that if you had to look at who has been probably the stout defensive presence, it's been A'ja. Because even when she's not dropping like 20 points a game, she's still averaging close to 11 rebounds and like 7 or 8 on the defensive side with the blocks. The presence is consistently there. So I think she is the best defender in the WNBA.
Okay. I'm going to be biased, and I'm going to say my favorite player in the league, Lish. Alicia Gray. I felt like she's taken a huge step forward, and
she's awesome.
If she doesn't get Defensive Player of the Year, I feel like Most Improved, she's definitely in that conversation. Hold on, guys. We had an extra person join us. We got Jen. Hey, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
How are you? Oh, yeah, we're doing BFFs right now.
Good. How are you? What up, Gigi, Jahan, my man Will? What up, gents?
What up?
How are y'all?
Doing really well. How was your show?
I'm decent.
It was good.
I'm decent.
Okay. Okay, so right now we are talking about the regular season individual awards for the WNBA. Basically everybody else said Kelsey Plum for MVP. I said A'ja Wilson. And as far as Defensive Player of the Year, both Joseph and Will have said A'ja Wilson also. Do you have any input on those?
This is going to be a random opinion for MVP because she has totally deserves it. She's also brought a lot of media to the WNBA this year.
I love this. I know where you're going with it. I love it.
You know where I'm going, right, Brittany?
Yeah.
Brittany should win.
Yeah, BG. Because all press is good press. Everybody talking about the WNBA right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. I like that take.
And I'll agree with everybody else on the Defensive Player of the Year.
I actually don't like that take.
Of course you don't, Jahan.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Like Brittany's gotta escape some limelight for a minute. Like this has been a lot. This has been a trying year. The outcome didn't go as expected. Like No one
I
expected
don't know.
it.
I think it was expected. Like I think.
Well, okay,
I
yeah,
personally,
it was expected because Russia did what Russia does.
They are who they.
I think
thought
Brittany's
they were.
only mistake was telling them she wasn't going to play next year before she left Russia.
Right.
Yeah, true.
But
I think she should have waited until she was back on U.S. soil.
I don't know.
Okay, so
Brittany's got to get out of
who's your-
limelight. No more. Like let her.
Who's your
get
deep
figured
boy?
out. Let her get
I
figured
was
out.
agreeing with Alicia.
But I mean,
Oh, okay.
defensive
Liz.
player of the year, I'm gonna go with Asia Wilson. I think if
Predictable.
Hey.
if anything happens and Kelsey doesn't win MVP, Asia's gonna pull something that only Giannis Antetokounmpo and Michael Jordan have done. She's gonna become a defensive player of the year and MVP in the same season.
Okay.
Okay. What
So-
you don't think they'll give? Okay, so question: will they give it to Sil? It's her last year. She's leading in defensive boards.
Nah.
I know there's more that goes into it besides.
I
just
think the
boards, 'cause
only
it's
thing
steals,
that
it's blocks.
Megan, I think the only thing that holds Sil back is I'm not saying it's her fault. Don't get me wrong. Her team is
Winning
just
matters.
not winning. Exactly, winning matters.
Winning matters.
It does.
I get it. Okay. All right. So, who's y'all's most improved player this year?
I'm torn between two people. I'm gonna say I'm torn between Jessica Shepard and Jackie Young, but I think I'm gonna go Jackie
Ooh,
Young.
Jackie. I was about to say Jackie Young. That's a really good pick.
I'm going Jackie Young. I did my research this morning.
Okay, awesome. Joseph, what
I'm
you
like,
got?
dude.
I think I would go with Jackie Young as well because she has risen
Yeah.
and the other teammates haven't exactly maybe came to play the way they need to, and she has came in some very clutch situations to help the Aces maintain the record that they have, and she looks like she's going to really fit in nicely with Becky's overall scheme for years to come. I think
Okay.
it's going to floor. I think her system's going to help her continue to flourish.
Okay, what you got, Jen?
Nicola.
Nice.
Okay. I am actually going to go. I'm going to stick with Vegas, and I know you hate that, John, but I'm going to go De'Erica,
FTA.
though. I don't care. I'm going to go De'Erica Hamby, though. Anybody starting behind Liz Cambage, obviously you're going to take a step forward because De'Erica is 6'4" or 6'5". Liz Cambage is 6'9". Like there's obviously you're not going to be the starter. And so the role that she's been able to come in because her and Asia are about an inch apart height wise. And they both just eat when it comes to the lane. So
Yes,
for me,
they
I'm
do.
going to say De'Erica Hamby.
I like De'Erica. De'Erica's a good pick. I like her.
Even though I think Lish has taken a huge step forward this year too. I feel like more she's, defensive player of the year.
I'm gonna be biased right now. I'm going with Sophie Cunningham.
I like
I knew
Sophie.
that was coming.
I like Sophie.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. Okay, sixth woman of the year.
Brianna Jones.
Okay.
I like Brianna Jones. I really do. I like her play style.
God dang it, William! I was going to give my turn 2 in a row. Sheesh. But yes, I think Brianna fills in nicely as a backup to Jonquel. And when she comes in, there's been times where Jonquel has had a chance to rest a little bit more because Brianna has been kind of getting her matchups and winning the best of them. So I think Brianna is really crucial, especially for a league that's kind of built. Ross Brother on guard. There's women that are the bigs that kind of been dominating. She could come in.
Yeah.
What you got, Jen?
I was gonna go with Brianna also.
God,
Okay.
you cheating off me? God. No, I'm kidding.
So I'm looking
Well,
at
I
the
don't need to
previous,
cheat off you, babe. I do my own.
I'm looking at the previous winners, and you got Kelsey Plum last year, and then
Yeah.
you got De'Erica, Jonquel, Sugar Rogers, and then you got Allie Quigley a couple of times too. So actually,
Quiz.
yeah, you know what? I'm gonna actually say someone who is retiring this season, and I'm going to say Brianna January. I feel like she has had a
that's a
huge
good
role with
I
Seattle.
forgot she's retiring.
She plays Sue's backup. They're both retiring this season, and she's had an impact coming off the bench. And so
She
with
has.
Seattle, we generally know her from being with the Mercury, but she's played for a couple of seasons with Seattle, and I think she's had a huge impact this season. Like they're at number 4, and anybody that plays behind Sue Bird, like you got to be something to follow up with Sue Bird. So that's my personal opinion. I'm gonna go January.
That's a good pick. That's definitely a good pick. Her hustle, her relentlessness.
Definitely, Honey.
I'm not certain. I'm not certain. I had one that I was leaning towards, but because Shea, being biased, Shea comes off the bench a lot. Diamond comes off the bench a lot. Like,
ooh, Diamond's a good pick.
I feel like both of them are well deserving. You know what? I don't want to be too
I'll
biased.
be right back, y'all.
I don't want to be too biased on this tonight. If I had to, I'm gonna go with Diamond for sure.
Okay.
Diamond
What
this
award-
year.
So, what
Dog.
award should we do next?
Hold on, girls.
Girls.
Sorry, my
Girls.
puppies were trying to fight.
I love
I'll be right back too.
I love how Megan's dogs always come into the show, make their cameo with their bark.
Oh yeah, they make themselves known.
Once every show.
Yeah, for sure.
Girls.
For sure. They make themselves known. But yeah, I mean, I really like Diamond's game. I think Diamond's cold-blooded for real. And I watch a lot of Phoenix Mercury naturally. So
I wouldn't know.
huh?
I wouldn't know.
I mean, I watch a lot of Phoenix Mercury naturally. So
I feel you. That's the same way.
yeah, like if I had where I would spend most of my time watching in the W, it's with the Phoenix Mercury.
Oh,
Because that same here. I mean, with the Mystics, because I'll be like, I can tell you, Aisha Jones, Allen, Shiri.
Yeah, so that's where I'd be.
so what award are we doing next?
Are y'all doing? Are we doing rookie?
My dogs are dumb. I'm sorry, y'all.
Are you doing rookie of the year?
Rookie
Okay, well, but I mean, I think Rookie of the Year is pretty obvious.
Oh yeah, we know who that is. We know who
She's
that
won it
is.
3 months in a row.
Ryan Howard.
Ryan Howard. Now I understand, Joseph, you're gonna pick somebody else, and I feel like she is absolutely the number 2 choice. But Ryan Howard is the clear number 1 choice, and all of us are gonna take Ryan Howard. Joseph, tell us why you taking Shakira Austin. And I'm gonna do a shot because I knew who it was. No, she's the clear cut number 2. If Ryan Howard was not in the league, Shakira Austin would be Rookie of the Year.
Shout out my boy Jay Nelson in the comments. I see you, yo.
Oh, what's up, Jay?
What did he say? I didn't even see what he said.
Oh, hold on. We can show you.
Not with Megan. What's okay? I'm good. I'm mad, Megan. I'm mad, Megan, just trying to read me like because yes.
But it's the truth. We all gonna take Ryan Howard because I mean, honey, she got it 3 months in a row.
Yeah, you're right.
Ryan Howard easily. I don't think it's close. I think this is gonna be like
No. Okay, when you say it's not close, I want to say the first couple of months it wasn't close. Right now, Shakira is putting up very similar numbers. This month.
Okay, but I feel like she did so much. She did so much in the early part that it's like.
And now ATL losing. Now ATL losing, and Washington is winning.
I think if we sit here,
who's going to the playoffs?
I think the big time.
ATL still got a chance.
I think the big
it's not happening.
They're in 2 different situations.
Never know.
Washington is a much better team than what Atlanta is, and I think if you had switched the places,
they also have a much better talent in Atlanta that she can learn from than Atlanta has.
But what I'm saying is, like, if Ryan was on this team, I would expect Ryan's role to kind of be in a similar fashion to Shakira based off how the team is constructed. And I see if you put Shakira on that team where she has more opportunities to score, more opportunity to shine, I would sit there and say, hey, Shakira could put up some like double type numbers. She has the talent there. She's not the Rookie of the Year. Yes, I know, even though I'm glad we get a chance to talk about her. But Shakira is clear-cut the second best rookie
Yes.
this year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like it's clear cut. Shakira is the second one, and I love
What-
watching her play.
Talk about a
What
national.
about Nalisa?
Oh, you know what? Melissa has done really well too. But here's my problem with that pick. She's on a really shitty team, and
She is a very
So-
young.
and so she's a great player on a shitty team. So her stats are always going to be great. So there went Jen.
Should we do coach now?
Okay, we can, but we also know who Coach of the Year is.
I think the
I've
coach
got.
could be the
I
Chicago
think
guy.
I think it's a close. You did not just say that.
Okay, well, go ahead.
I think it's close. I think it's really close.
Okay.
James
But
Wade's
who's won Coach of the Month multiple times?
James Wade's a great coach.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, but I'm
Okay.
going my girl. One of my favorite people of all time, Becky Hammond.
Well, yeah, okay. Yes, Becky has done an amazing job.
No, it's going to Becky. Watch out, Megan.
He said
Come
it's
on.
going to
You
Becky.
know it. You know it be true. It is Becky.
I think she's done an amazing job with
Yeah.
a team that was already
Great
incredibly stacked. So she came, but she did have to do some adjusting because one, they lost their big woman. They don't have a clear-cut center in Vegas, and so she definitely had to change their offense some. And she was able to get Jackie Young to take a step forward, but also I feel like that was something that Bill Laimbeer already had in place. He is a huge supporter of Jackie Young, and so I feel like that step forward for Jackie Young was not just because of Becky. Bill Laimbeer was absolutely a part of that.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So, for me, James Wade, it's pretty clear cut. He won Coach of
Really?
the Month. Yeah, Coach of the Month. And the reason why, and I'm not going to just go off Coach of the Month because he's won it several different times. The reason I say that is because you don't have any of his players really leading in any of the categories. You know why? Because everybody is leading. It
contributes,
doesn't matter if
yeah.
it's rebounds. It doesn't matter if it's points. Everybody is consistently around the same numbers. And for me, that says that they're working together as a team. And that's why they're the number one seed. So for me,
Yeah, I can
it's
see it.
James Wade.
I said, it's close.
I was getting ready to say that as well because not only are they the number one seed again, they're the defending champs, which means everybody
Right.
they're back. And it's like they kickstarted and they have been able to maintain and to be the number one seed when it was kind of already aforementioned that the Aces were going to be the clear-cut number one seed. Here they come in. I agree. I think it's
Right. Now, and I will say, I feel like the Aces are a better team despite them being at the number 2 seed. But I feel like Chicago is the most well-balanced team.
Yeah.
I feel like Vegas has the most superstars. Like for real. Jen, what do you
Excuse
have?
me.
Honestly,
Like
and this I kind of got from you, Megan. So hats off to the Queen of Hoops. But I really like what Fred Williams has done since
Okay.
What's his name? Fisher left. So
All right, get him out of there.
yeah. Yes. Sorry, now my dogs are barking. They're saying
Oh, no,
hi.
it's fine. The
They're
squishy
puppies.
babies.
They are.
Can't wait to see them soon.
I'm sorry.
All right, Jahan, what you got?
Becky Hammond, Las Vegas.
Yes,
Aces.
sir.
Okay, so it's FTA.
All
It's
that-
FTA,
all that
but go
FTA.
Becky.
That FTA stuff just to say Becky Hammond. That is
Sorry, guys.
Okay, and I would have loved to pick Becky. I would have loved to pick Becky because y'all know she's my hero. Like, just really her journey coming undrafted, coming out of South Dakota, like her journey just really meant a lot to me.
It's
And
crazy.
she played half of her career in San Antonio, so automatically I love her. Then she did majority of her coaching career in San Antonio so far. So obviously I love her. But I just feel like what James Wade has continued to build there in Chicago.
He got whooped on in the Commissioner Cup.
Not exactly whooped on, but
Whooped
yeah.
on, dog walked.
There was a couple points
So,
away from a dog
John,
walk,
question,
but
I heard that
also they
definition
beat
of dog
Vegas
walk.
by with a 28-point
What
deficit,
that
the
mean? What
biggest
that mean?
deficit comeback. It means she got out coached.
Well, let's look at this right here.
Okay.
Oh, no,
Let's
he
look at
said
this.
dog walk. I thought dog walk was 12.
Aces was up, and it was never in
Dog
doubt.
walk is 12 points and up. We decided.
What did they win by?
They won by 10. They was up by
11
12 with
10,
22 and a half seconds left.
Now,
They was up by 12.
to quote this guy,
Anyway.
Nick Jahan, who lives on technicalities, did they win by 12 or did they win by 10?
Anyway, they got
He
dog
ain't
You
walk.
know.
wrong.
Nobody worried about
He
the
ain't
Sky.
wrong.
The Sky got dog walk when it mattered in the Commissioner
Joseph
Cup
ain't
for the
wrong, though.
championship. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Listen, 28 points. Vegas was out here tripping. They was up celebrating. They went and pulled the Atlanta Falcons at halftime. They was pouring up champagne. They was pouring up champagne. They was pouring up Dom Perignon in the locker room at the half.
Best Super Bowl ever.
You know.
Yes, John.
So they
Yes.
come out second half, and they slow walking. And the Sky said, "Look, we're gonna put some pride in this, and we're gonna come back and win." And they did. But then Vegas showed them what time it was, which was never in doubt that Vegas is the better team, the better coach team, the better talented team. FTA always.
They were the better team walking into the situation for Becky. And you said the exact same thing because last year when Chicago won, they were a 500 team when they won, right? They went into the playoffs and they were 500, right?
Right.
This season, not the case. Like James Wade has maintained that throughout the entire season. Like Vegas, so the first 3-4 weeks of the season, it was Vegas. And then after that, it's been Chicago the entire time. So I disagree, but I love Becky Hammond, and I wish it was. I wish I could say Becky Hammond, but I disagree. I think it's James Wade.
Yep.
You gonna make me say Vanessa Nygaard?
Yeah, fire her expeditiously.
No,
Immediately.
Nygaard.
Fire her right fucking now. Put her. Send her to.
I'll coach. I'll take her place.
No, I'm joking, but no, get her off the Mercury. She doesn't know what she's doing. I think that they were very rushed when they decided to go with Nygaard because they obviously wanted somebody else. They wanted Teaspoon, and she decided to stay with the Pelicans.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, we are actually going to move over to the end of the show, our last segment, and this is going to be our tribute to Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Will, you want to start us off?
So I did some research between Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain, and what a battle of the big men when they played against each other, whether it was Celtics versus Philadelphia Warriors or Celtics versus Los Angeles Lakers. Career averages, who averages more? Will Chamberlain. Head-to-head against one another, Wilt. But guys, it's not over yet. Overall record between each other, advantage, Bill Russell. Playoff averages, Will Chamberlain. Record in conference and NBA finals, advantage, Bill. Decisive game 7, advantage, Bill. Bill Russell was 10-0 in game 7s. 10-0. Facing elimination, advantage, Bill Russell. 16-2.
Sheesh.
Rings. Is it even a question? It's Bill Russell. 11.
Yeah.
11-1, ain't it? 11-1.
Everyone's seen the photo where he's like this. Both hands are like this.
Right. Filled with rings.
Do you want to hear a fun fact about those rings, though? Not all of those were his rings. Some of them he had to borrow from teammates because I don't remember what the story was because they had just had to put it at an angle where it didn't show the player's name. Because they didn't always give a ring. I don't think they gave a ring every time they won a title. I think they gave them like a watch or something else as an incentive. So he had to borrow rings. It was kind of cool, though. I read a story about that the other day. But rest in peace, Bill Russell. You are in my top 5 big men of all time. Yeah, and that's my tribute to Bill Russell.
Awesome.
You know what's interesting is that he mentioned the greatness of Bill on the court as a dominant basketball player of his time.
Oh, I know him off the court too. Don't worry.
Absolutely. And that's where I come in. We're going to talk about Bill Russell's accomplishments off the court because his impact off the court could be rivaled as greater than his impact on the court because Bill, was active as a civil rights activist. He marched with Martin Luther King. He stood side by side to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Jim Brown and Muhammad Ali's refusal to join the military in the fight against the Vietnam. But what was one thing that was actually kind of struck to me is that when Medgar Evers was assassinated, he immediately called their family what they could do for him or what he could do for them to help remedy the situation or try to bring some type of peace or togetherness. And they asked him to start a camp for underprivileged children, particularly in our urban areas. And he came right off the bat. Now, this is a very serious time. We're talking about the racial tension of our world, and he's a well-known African-American basketball player, so he had to have
playing in Boston, and Boston still has a reputation for being a racist city.
Time.
And it's
Boston's
it's 2022, and so at the time, we're talking like 60 years ago, in the middle of the civil rights movement. So go ahead. Sorry.
Absolutely, 100%. So he had to come with bodyguards, but he went wherever the need was there. And there was an article that came out. I was trying to look at so I can quote it exactly, but it referenced that Bill would actually trade all of his career in basketball if he knew the impact, for the impact of what it would be to be a civil rights activist. And he was the first male African-American coach in NBA history and the first one to win a title as an NBA coach in NBA history. And so he's just a man among the legends. He won the Presidential Award Medal of Freedom, which is given to people who have meritorious contributions in our world in terms of various aspects. And one of the aspects being is equality, world peace, and anything around activism and ending racism or changing the narrative. Yeah. And I think the best part about him is, and I'll end it with this, that he never denied that these thoughts exist in people's minds. He's like, he would be foolish to think that his ego would not think for him to say certain things that may come off and rub people the wrong way. But it's all on how you control that situation, how you can make sure you use your words to preach, equality, preach, acceptance, appreciation, and recognizing that everybody has a place here. And specifically in this time, minorities have a place here. Bill's amazing. Rest in peace. Rest in power.
Right.
Great Bill Russell.
Adam Silver said it best. And then I'll go into what Bill meant to the Celtics. But Adam Silver said that Russell stood for something so much bigger than sports. The values of equality, respect, and inclusion that he stamped into the DNA of our league. Not only was Bill Russell he and I forgot the hockey player's name. Let me find that real quick. Are tied for the most winning championships of any athletes in North American sports.
No.
He's
a Canadian. He played for the Canadians.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Guy
LaFleur.
Hold on, I'm getting the name, guys. Hold on.
It may be LaFleur.
I think it is LaFleur.
It was Richard somebody.
Oh.
Richard Simmons.
Sorry.
Megan's laughing.
God, I'm so good at this, y'all. I was saying this earlier. Anyway, he's tied as the most winning and athlete of any sport in North America.
Because my boy
Yogi
only has 10.
Huh?
I know, right?
Yogi Bear.
Oh, whatever. Yogi Berra.
Yogi Berra. No, it wasn't Yogi.
No, it wasn't Yogi.
One less.
Bill also was a coach at the same time as playing. He led Boston to 11 rings as a player and as a coach. He's one of the few players that Boston actually has a statue of. He hated living in Boston, as you alluded to a moment ago, Megan, because of the racism.
He moved immediately as soon as he retired.
Yeah. He moved to California because he was actually born in Monroe, Alabama. And he has I mean, he had 12 years, 12 consecutive seasons of 1,000 plus rebounds. Who does that?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
who does
I
that?
do. No.
You do?
He said I
No,
do.
JJ, hey.
Jen,
didn't know, Joseph.
Henry Richard, Jen.
He was
Henry
also, I
Richard.
think he was also the youngest captain for a basketball team in the Olympics, and that was in 1956. And that's also the following the back-to-back consecutive years he won, led that San Francisco Dons to back-to-back NCAA championships. I mean, the man was a beast. We've talked about this on the NBA carousel as well. He was in the news a couple of months ago for doing good deeds.
Right.
People have been flocking to his statue in Boston. And, like I said, and Denzel said earlier, and he said this a couple of times, or Jay has, even after he won all of his rings and titles, he wasn't even allowed into the White House until 20 years later. And even then, he had to go into the back door where African Americans were allowed to go in. That's jacked up shit. However, in 2011, President Obama did give him the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Right.
So, and he deserved that. And he was also he was really into civil rights, as you were talking about. He knew MLK. He walked with MLK. He, he and Ali were buddies. So just the impact this man left, not only on the legacy of the Boston Celtics, but on the legacy of the NBA.
Mhm.
Just amazing.
And for me, I'm going to go a little biased. Honestly, he meant a lot to the W. Y'all know what the W means to me. He was an avid fan of the Seattle Storm. He lived in California in his later years. He went to the Phoenix Mercury games. He went to the Las Vegas games, and he had season tickets to Seattle. And so he was constantly supporting the women. And for me, I feel like that is the ultimate show of equality right there, because not only are you representing your own struggle, but you're representing somebody else's struggle, and you're trying to move forward with something and realize that not just your argument matters, like it's everybody else too. And so for me, that meant a lot. And then also, I think a lot of us hear a lot of the quotes that he's had about Kobe, and saying that it couldn't have meant more to him if it was his own son who won the MVP. But here's a quote from him. And it said, "When Jackie Robinson died, his wife called me and asked me to be a pallbearer at Jackie's funeral. And I said, of course. But I asked why. And she said, you're Jackie's favorite athlete. And that's the same way I feel about you." And he was saying this to Tim Duncan. And so obviously I'm a huge Spurs fan, and that meant a lot to me. So for me, those are the two things that really stuck out. Like, no matter what your struggle was, he was there. He was about it. He was about equality. And then two, he loved the Spurs,
Yeah.
Considers him the greatest basketball and player of all time. If you ask him, he's the one person that he had said was the greatest basketball player of all time for him. Game on the court and off the court.
Yep.
Right. And Tim Duncan didn't pick up a basketball until he was 15. So just putting that out there.
And
John, what you got? Okay. Because you're going to finish with the accolades. What do you got, Jen?
I was going to say, and he was also participated in the 1956 Olympics, not only in basketball, but in track and field too.
Oh, right. Absolutely right. All right. So Jahan's going to end it for us, and he's going to talk about all of Bill Russell's accolades. And then we're going to take a drink, and we're going to end the show.
He got to bring out a sheet of paper for all the accolades.
Of course, everybody knows 11-time NBA champion. Greatest winner in American sports, according to Adam Silver, the greatest champion in all of North American sports. 5-time NBA most valuable player, 12-time NBA All-Star. He was an All-Star Game MVP. He was a 3-time All-NBA first team, an 8-time All-NBA second team, giving him 11 NBA team selections. He was all defensive first team. He's a 4-time NBA rebounding champion. he is one of 4 people on the 25th, the 35th, and the 50th anniversary teams in NBA history. And he also made the 75th anniversary team, of course, that just released in 2021. So he's on all the anniversary teams currently as listed in NBA history. He had his number 6 retired by the Boston Celtics. He is a 2-time NCAA champion with the San Francisco Dons. Back-to-back 2-time champion, by the way.
Yep.
Player of the year, 2-time player of the year in college. All-American, West Coast Conference player of the year, 3-time first team West Conference player of the year. Got his number retired by the San Francisco Dons. Y'all have mentioned already Presidential Medal of Freedom, but even as a coach, so he has 13 rings total because he won 2 as a coach. Just unreal. Went into the Hall of Fame in 2021 again as a coach. Bill was just an amazing dude, and they got a good one. They got a good one this week. Also, rest in peace to Vin Scully. I know this
for
is
sure.
stuff,
No, for sure.
but
For sure.
definitely had to touch on
What
the
I
legacy
want to
of Vin
know
Scully as well.
is, sorry to interrupt. What I want to know is if they had Defensive Player of the Year back then, he would have probably won multiple.
Oh, easily.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For sure. No, for sure. Because, you know, they didn't implement finals MVP or anything like that until like after the fact with Bill. And so, or like in that last
His
season.
accolades
How
would be
how
even
many
bigger.
awards
He
would he have had if they all would have been implemented?
Shoot,
for
even the
entire
finals-
changed how
year?
defense was played in the NBA and basketball completely.
And
He
shoot.
changed it.
And shoot, the finals MVP is called the Bill Russell MVP.
Right, absolutely
And
right.
he used to
Absolutely right.
give it to the player.
Right, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, let's take a drink and say, you know, rest in peace, Bill Russell.
Rest in power, Bill
and
Russell.
and you know, and thank you for everything that you did for the game that we love.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Here.
All right, guys, that's gonna do it for us tonight. Appreciate you guys watching, commenting, sharing. See you back next week, maybe.
Peace.
Maybe.
See you next week.
Maybe.